All right, let's talk about what we got this week. So a lot of this is going to be a review for today, probably a little bit tomorrow review as well. Wednesday, Wednesday will be a day that I will pass back tests, go over that. I'll record it, so if you needed to watch that at a later time, I could show your test at that time. You can watch it. Thursday is that goofy day that you guys don't have regular class, right? But we have tests of some sort. And then Friday is just normal Friday. Is that good? I don't have anything planned for this week as far as tests or quizzes. Sorry about that. Yes, ma'am. Something like that. And I saw another that. Johnny, what do you got? Yo.
If we were opted out, did we just not show up at home?
I guess so.
What is this test?
I don't know. PSAT.
I thought you had to sign up for that. It's like $40.
Yeah. These are the ones that are better ones, and then the other ones that are silly ones. Yeah, because the freshman one is PSAT, which links you up for national scholarships. All right. So this past week, holy crow! Past week, that was a busy week. I mean, I enjoyed homecoming week and saw a lot of you at the dance, so thank you for coming. Was the dance okay? We were Mr. Knuckle and I run Excalibur, so we were in charge of, our boys were in charge of getting the dance put together and decorations and stuff. I love Knuckle, man. He's great to work with. But oh my gosh, so this is what the least busy part of my week would have been Friday, this class, because it's easy for me to teach, no big deal. And you guys were doing a quiz anyhow, so that was real easy. So Friday, right after school, I go home, and then I coach my daughter's soccer team, and then I jump back in my car, put on my jeans and a little bit warmer clothes. And I was here at the football game, making sure people have their appropriate sideline passes on. And then, so I got home from that, about 10:30. I had a soccer game at 9 o'clock the next morning, so I had to be at the field by 8 o'clock. Fortunately, it was like from the field in relation to my house is like from here to the West Cafe. It's the field closest to my house, which was like, oh, thank goodness. Then I got in my car right after the game, drove here, and helped out with the Excalibur Club, set up the gym. Went home for about 3 hours. Came back here by 4:30, so the DJ and anybody else that needed to get things set up for the dance were here. Dance got over at 11:30. I left here at 1:45. Got home probably 1:15. Went to sleep for a brief amount of time. Got back up. Was back here by 8:30 the next morning to clean the gym. So then my parents are in town, and this is the thing. You will love your parents forever. You really will. But they will also drive you crazy. And at age 45, they drive me crazy sometimes because they are traveling people. They have a big old camper they drag around the back of their truck, and I'll tell them, great times to visit myself and your grandkids and my wife are called June and July. So 1/6 of the year, 2 months. And Colorado has pretty nice summers. And they will come like for a moment, and then they'll come during the school year. And they're like, well, what are you guys doing now? Okay, now, I don't know if it sounds busy to you or not, but did my Friday, Saturday, Sunday sound kind of busy?
No.
No? Okay, good. Glad you get my sarcasm. So then my parents are like, well, we really want to see you guys. So then yesterday my parents come over, and what do I want to do on Sundays after I've been like nonstop hauling you know what forever?
Watch football and go to sleep.
Yeah, watch football and just be lazy. So, and I don't know how my mom and dad have made it through life this far without the comprehension of football. So we're watching the Broncos, and my dad's like, well, they going to play the Cardinals now? No, they play one game a week usually. Well, why don't the Cardinals want to play them? They set up a schedule. They play a different team each week. It's not just a phone call. It's not Chris Sturp's phone call saying, hey, Kubiak, we were on the sidelines together. How about you play the Cardinals? Because my dad thinks you should right now. Now, we are college football fans in our house as well. And we've had this question come from my parents as well. We were watching a Michigan game last week, or the week before. Can't remember. It's one of those, they kind of blend in together these days. But Michigan is winning pretty handedly over the team they're playing. And you know anything about Michigan, sometimes they play like, the school of the blind and the school of the, whatever else. They're playing these teams. So this question came from my mom. And I don't know how my wife didn't kick her out of the house. Oh, so if Michigan wins all their games, will they be pro next year? And I'm hearing this, and I can feel the death stare from my wife coming from behind me like, are you kidding me? Turn around, he's like, Mom, there's a professional football league called the NFL, and then you have college football, and there's high school football prior to that. Just because a team does well in college doesn't mean that team becomes pro the following year. That'd be like saying a high school football team becomes a college football team the following year. And I'm just like, and I'm like, you guys lived in this country your whole lives. How can you not know this? So, of course, my wife now, I think she hates me a little bit just because, God bless my parents. But, And then my dad asks, why didn't my granddaughter's soccer team win? Well, the other team put a goal in the back of the net. We didn't. Oh, so you guys keep score? Yeah. And not every kid gets a trophy with me. Well, why not? You got to build their self-esteem. What? So someone else later in life will wreck them? Nah. No trophies in my league. Sorry. All right. I'm ready for geometry. What about y'all?
Can you explain the test?
Can I explain the test Wednesday? Wednesday. We'll take care of it Wednesday. Friday, I haven't planned that far out yet. All right, section, blah, blah, blah. Slopes of lines, including slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. So you guys know we're talking about linear equations. These are straight lines. It's funny when it's like, hey, what kind of line is this? And they're like, it's a straight one. Good. You paid attention in art. Goal to assess previous proficiency for finding the slope of lines that apply to understanding and determine when lines are parallel or perpendicular. Okay, let's move on. All right, what do you remember about the slope of a line? Anybody? Hey. Rise over run. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. The change in Y over the change in X. Delta Y over delta X. Those are all things that were slope. Bless you. Now, slope, apparently, they used the letter M, and it came from the Swiss, which had to use M because of their mountains. And I think it actually applies to us as well because we have mountains as well. So we use M. Okay? I don't know why they chose M. It was the Swiss. Obviously, they're in a mountainous region. I'm glad I'm not teaching this in like Ohio or something where they have not ever seen a mountain. Why'd they use M? They should have used O. Yeah, you're right. If I was teaching in Ohio, I'd have to go a lot slower than this. Yeah, that was a dig on Ohio. I'm sorry. If you're from there, get over it. All right, we good here? We've seen this before. This is stuff we know. All right, what can we say about the slopes of the four lines? The red one, positive, negative, 0, undefined. Positive. So we can say it's a positive slope. Could we also say that it is increasing? Sound okay? So positive slopes are increasing. Okay, that's kind of calculus. Green one would be negative slope, which is decreasing. See? The slope of 0. Okay? No, it's not undefined. The next one is this increasing or decreasing? Neither, neither, norther. Jeez. Okay, that's a T, H. Neither. Okay, it's not increasing or decreasing. These are all important. Why that reason I put increasing, decreasing, or neither is those are things that will start following further into calculus. And then letter D is an undefined slope. If you wanted to use the appropriate term, it is infinitely increasing. Okay? Undefined slope. This would be x equals, this would be y equals, this would be y equals, and this is x equals a number. This is x equals a number. And then the others are y equals mx plus b of some sort, or ax plus by equals c, or y minus y sub 1 equals m times quantity x minus x sub 1, which is point slope. So those are just different ways of talking about linear. Question?
Well, isn't CY equals
Yeah, why did I put... Hey, Mom. Yeah, it is. Gotcha. What? Nothing. You guys didn't get the joke. Too slow. All right. Can I move on? Yes, it is y equals a number. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for making sure I got that right. Okay, moving on. Find the slope of the rate change given by the coordinates. So I always think it's important to label x1, y1, x2, y2. And slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Negative 3 over, which is 3 over 2. And I do have some students in other classes, they get all upset that I leave fractions as improper fractions, meaning the top number is bigger than the bottom, and they want to make it a mixed number. And I'm not sure about you, but I'm not sure how a slope of 1 1/2 would be easy to graph. This means it goes up 3, right 2. Okay, the next one, negative 6 minus negative 3. And negative 2 minus 7, I'm not necessarily labeling x1, y1. So it's going to give me negative 3 over negative 9. Negative over negative is positive. Reduce. So 1/3 is that slope. Which of these two lines is steeper, and how do you know? Is it steeper to go up 3 and right 2, or is it steep, bless you, or go up 1 and over 3?
Whoa.
Yeah, bless you. Things that, this is kind of sometimes tougher to think about. So this might be the time you use your calculator and go 3 divided by 2 and you get 1.5. Or you go 1 divided by 3 and get 0.3 repeating forever. 1.5 is a larger number than 0.3 repeating forever. So which one is steeper? Steeper. Okay? Make sense? This is all somewhat review, I would hope. It's like, dude, what's a linear equation? All right. Find the slope of these. Let's see. 3 minus 6. Negative 2 minus 2. So that's negative 3 over 0, which is undefined. So that's a vertical line. X equals. This is the vertical line. X equals negative 2. So it's a vertical line. Second one, I imagine, bless you, I'm going to go negative 3 minus negative 3. Negative 2 minus 7. That's going to be 0 on top over negative 9. So this is 0. So this is a horizontal line. That's a vertical line. Vertical line is straight up and down, has an undefined slope. Vertical lines are not functions, if you wanted to go with that. Horizontal line is a flat line, has no slope to it. What do the slopes tell us about the lines? How fast they grow. How fast they grow in the y direction. How fast they grow in the y direction over the change in the x direction. All kinds of ways we can answer that. Still review? In a sense? Sweet. Okay, graph the 2 points. Draw a line through them and find the slope of the line. Really? I don't have a graph here. Do you guys have a graph on your paper? No. Oh,
Just
man.
skip it.
I'm sorry. We're still... Oh, it's on the next page? Dude, thanks. Okay. So, negative 2, 6. Negative 2, 6. And negative 4, 0. All right, next one, we'll make a different color. 2, 4. And negative 7, 7. Negative 7, 7. They cross? Are they perpendicular? I don't know. Maybe. And then 4, negative 5. 4, negative 5. And 5, negative 2. Whoop, 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 whoop. 5, negative 2. Yeah. 5, negative 2. What do you notice about lines A and B? So this is line A, B, and C. A and B, what do you think? They cross? Could they be perpendicular? Possibly. We'd have to know what the slopes are to make sure we know that or not. What about A and C? Do they appear to be parallel? If they have the same slope, they will be parallel. Does A or C appear to be parallel or perpendicular to B as well? Yeah, so if A and C are parallel to each other, if B was perpendicular to one, it has to be perpendicular to the other. I'm sure that would be some sort of theorem we would hit later. Okay? So what did that last thing say? Graph the 2 points, draw a line, find the slope of each line. Okay? So the first one, I'm going to do 0 minus 6 over negative 4 minus negative 2. That's negative 6 over negative 2, which is 3. Second one, I'm going to go 7 minus 4 over negative 7 minus 2, which is 3 over negative 9, which is negative 1/3 is the slope. And the third one is negative 2 minus negative 5. 5 minus 4. So that's going to be, what, 3 over 1, which is just 3. So line A and C are parallel to each other because they have the same slope. Line A and B are perpendicular. Line B and C are perpendicular because the slopes are opposite reciprocals or negative reciprocals. So the reciprocal of 3 is 1 over 3, meaning if I flip it over. The opposite sign means that one's positive, one's negative. If you were to take two slopes and multiply them together, and the result comes out to be negative 1, that verifies your slopes happen to be perpendicular. So if I were to go 3 times negative 1/3, I'd get negative 3 over 3. Negative 3 over 3 is negative 1. So that also tells you that you have perpendicular lines. Good to go so far? May I move on? All right, we did that. Okay, parallel lines have
The same slope.
perpendicular lines have negative reciprocals for slope. Can we prove these two generalizations? Sure. Is there things that I have to remove here? Nope, nope. Nothing there. Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocals for slope. So if I have a vertical slope, which is undefined, and a slope that's 0, are those perpendicular to each other? So I have an undefined slope, which is a vertical line, and I have a horizontal line, which is a slope of 0. Are they perpendicular to each other? Yes, they are. So this is a special case scenario that the negative reciprocals don't work. Okay? If you have a slope of 0, I guess you could say the reciprocal of 0 is undefined. That works. Hey! Hey! Well, that was my hate to them.
That was my hate to your hate saying hate to them.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so perpendicular lines that have to be undefined and slope of 0, those are perpendicular, even though they don't fall under our generalization of all the other lines. Postulate, two lines are blank if and only if their slopes are. Two lines are blank if and only if they have blank for their slopes. Oh, I bet you I have something to remove here. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Looks like we have to add our own. Two lines are parallel if and only if their slopes are equal. Other postulate, two lines are perpendicular if and only if they have negative reciprocals for their slopes. So flipped positive and negative, negative and positive, fraction flipped over. Can I move on?
Sure do.
All right, line K passes through the point 0, 3 and 5, 2. Line T is perpendicular to line K. Find the slope of line T. Okay, well, let's find the slope of K is going to be 3 minus 2, 0 minus 5. Right? Did I do that right? 2 minus 3 and 5 minus 0. That'd be the same thing, wouldn't it? Okay, so wait. Okay, so 2 minus 3, 5 minus 0, that would be negative 1 over 5 is the slope of K. Okay, the slope of T, if it happens to be perpendicular, has to be the opposite sign, so it's positive, and the reciprocal of 1/5. The reciprocal of 1/5 is 5, or it's 5 over 1. So we can have that for an answer or that for an answer. It's your choice. Okay? And that brought up an interesting point. When I had done this, I went Originally, I had gone 3 minus 2 and 0 minus 5. And that would give me 1 over negative 5 as well. So if you flip-flop your x1, y1 and your x2, y2, your answer is going to be the same. Just don't have x1 go with x2 at the same point and y1 and y2 same point. Or don't flip-flop. Don't have x1, y2 and x2, y1. If that doesn't make sense, you should be fine. Without graphing, decide if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Justify your answers with mathematics. 1 minus 3. Negative 1 minus 3, excuse me. Negative 1 minus 3. Negative 4, good. 3 minus 3, 6, okay. What about here? 3 minus negative 3? 3 minus negative 3? 3 minus negative 3 is positive, right? And then 2 minus 2? What can you tell me about these two lines? Opposite reciprocals, therefore they are perpendicular. Okay? Now some of you are looking up here going, why does it reduce it? Okay, if I reduce it, guess what? They're still opposite reciprocals of each other. If I were to multiply these two fractions together, my answer would be negative 1. Negative 1 indicates we have perpendicular lines. Or you can just realize the flip-flop of a fraction with an opposite sign is that. What about this one? 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 6. That's the top one. And then this one, 1 minus 3 is 4, right? And 4 minus 4 is what? 8. So 3 over 6 is 3 over 6, same thing as 4 over 8. Well, if I reduce this, I get 1/2, and if I reduce this, I get 1/2 as well. And I have two slopes that are 1/2. They're the same side and everything, so those two lines are parallel. Sweet. Is everyone doing okay? A line passes through the points 4, negative 2, and 0, comma, y. If the slope of the line is negative 2, find y. Thoughts?
Point slope.
Point slope? Ooh, I like your thought. Bless you. So a point slope is this. And I think that'd be a way that we definitely could make this work. Any other way we could make it work? What looks like point slope but has m by itself? Slope equation. Now here's the difficult thing. These are the exact same item. Okay, but I lost the sub 2's on the y's on the one and I added them on the other. So y sub 2 is the same thing as y, x sub 2 is the same thing as x as far as the point slope form. So which one is the one that we should use? I think they're both going to work well for you. Okay, I think if you go x1, y1, and if you wanted to use point slope, you can call this x and y. If you wanted to use your slope equation, you call it x2, y2. And then this is what letter? M. Okay? Which one is going to work best for you? I'll just work them both ways. It's going to be this exact same thing. So remember how before I said y2 is the same thing as y. y1 we have as negative 2 equals m, which we found is negative 2. X, which is x2, minus x1. So it's going to be positive, because it's negative, negative. So this is going to work out nicely for us. Y minus 2 is equal to negative 8. So while adding that, I get negative 6. So this value should be negative 6. Okay, if you choose to use the slope equation, so you know you have negative 2 here, y2 is y minus 2 over x2, 0 minus negative 4. So negative 2 equals y minus 2 over 4. Multiply each side. Negative 8 equals y minus 2. That's starting to look the same. So y is equal to negative 6. Answer's the same no matter which way you want to do it. Which way does your brain work? The right way. Which one do you want to use? The one that makes your brain make the most sense. Okay? There's a class that I truly recommend you all take later in life. If you plan on going to college, or if you don't go to college and you're in some sort of field. It's called abnormal psychology. And you realize that your mind really is pretty unique on how it is, and you're normal. And it frightens you when you find out like what the abnormal mind does. It's weird. Yeah.
What does the abnormal mind do?
The one biggest difference that the abnormal mind would do was you can't decipher right from wrong, or reality from fantasy. So let's say you have a fantasy of saying, this is this weird thing. Let's say you have a fantasy of, wouldn't it be fun to take this kitten and launch it out of a water balloon launcher and see how far it flies?
That'd be awesome.
Okay? The abnormal mind is the one that says, let's do it.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, wait a minute, I'm abnormal.
It would seem funny. But
Well, I understand. There are certain things that are funny. I get you. And I have a sick sense of humor. All right. Given the slope of the line, find the missing coordinate. So, x1, y1, x2, y2. Using this, let's see if you can find it.
No.
See if you can find that one. And then also on this one, let's see if you can figure this one out. This is obviously M. And again, I'm just using the slope equation. If you want to use point slope, go for it. Which answer did you get for this one on A? N equals 7? Is that what you said? Or 4? 4? Which answer is it? I don't know. I have to work it out, really? Alright, n minus 6 over negative 4. Multiply that over, so I'm going to get negative 4 times half is negative 2 equals n minus 6. Add 6, so it should be 4.
I have a question on point slope.
Uh-huh.
So you do y1, y minus y1, and then slope times. So what would you do for the x?
Just think this is the same thing.
Oh,
X2. Same exact idea. Cool? What do we get for the second one? What do we get for the second one? See, on top, that's going to be 2. On bottom, I get negative 5 minus n equals 2 over 3. Basically, your tops are the same, so negative 5 minus n equals 3. Negative n equals 8. N equals negative 8. Squeeze it in. Negative 8 should be our answer. Can you make that work?
How did you go from negative 2 minus negative 4 for a b over negative 5 minus n? How did you
Right here?
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
So what I did is I realized I had 2 on top, so I just made the denominators equal to each other. If they weren't equal, I probably would have cross multiplied, given me 6 equals 2, negative 9 minus n, and then solve that. It would be the same exact answer. Okay. But I just saw that I had the same top to top, so bottoms need to be equal. Can I move on? A line passes through 4, negative 3, and x1, x comma 1. If the slope of the line is negative 4, find x. So again, we're doing it. And again, I'll just keep using the slope equation because it works for me. x1, y1, x2, y2. Everything okay back there? There's chatting and stuff. The slope is this. Okay, in order to solve this, we could probably just cross multiply, so that's over 1. So I'd get negative 4 times x minus 4 equals 4 times 1. I could distribute if I wanted to. Subtract 16. So x is equal to 3. Am I almost done? Johnny's done. Johnny's been done for 20 minutes, man. I'll tell you. Johnny's back there playing with matches.
You have like 2 more problems.
You need a lighter?
Start a bonfire. Why would you point at me for that?
Because there's always that one friend you have that could make a fire happen with anything. Just pour gasoline on it. All right. All right, slope also represents the average rate of change. Average rate of change. That's a lot of times you see that on like ACT and SAT. Find the average rate of change. What does that mean? Find the slope. I mean, that's really all it is. So a company makes a profit of $25,000 in the year 2000 and $40,000 in 2005. Find the average rate of change. So you can look at this as saying this. Actually, I went backwards. That way. And 2005 to, what was that, 40,000? Now, here's the tough thing. Eyes up here real quick. Do I need to pull out the huge numbers in? No. So, make this 0, comma 25. Make this 5, comma 40. What did I do? What did I do to the x's? 2000 is our starting point. Starting point starts at 0. So that way we're not making this huge graph. Then go 40 minus 25. 40 minus 25 is 15. 5 minus 0 is 5. So what is the average rate of change? This company made, now you have to put it back in the context. I took 3 zeros away. So now this company made $3,000 per year on average. A profit of $3,000 per year on average. Maybe it's just one little item. I don't know. I agree with you. I don't think it's an unbelievable company, and I don't think this would be one you should invest in.
No, it doesn't, Sawyer. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
All right. Graph the line to the given point. Negative 4, negative 5. Let's make this red. Negative 4 and 5. And it has a slope of negative 2. So down 2, right 1. Agree? Black one. Negative 2, negative 7. Slope.
Lols. That's just a prank, bro.
What happened?
It's
Where'd it
probably
go?
undefined.
Where's it go? All right, we'll make up our own rules. I heard it's undefined. If it's undefined, this is doing this. So it goes through the point that's given, and it becomes vertical through it. And then the blue, 3 and negative 2.
0.
And it has a slope of 0. So this is C. There you go. Color coordinated for you and everything. How y'all feeling? Happy Monday? Tired? I understand.
I feel very awake now.
I see someone on their cell phone. Alright, homework is 3.4, worksheet 3.4. I will be collecting 3.4. Guys and girls, your grades for the most part are completely up to date other than the quiz we took on this past Friday. So if you need to do that, complete that test for this Friday, or that was this past Friday, let's get it done by this coming Friday, somewhere in here. Come find me. Yo.
No.
If it's not in the grade book, don't worry about it. Sorry, gotta make sure though I didn't collect it because I think I don't know. Last week you could have lied to me all last week and I would have been fine with it, but because I was so tired. You guys are awesome.